It was one of the most moving scenes in all of Scripture. The air was abuzz. People had brought their lawn chairs hours before to reserve a spot by the side of the road. Palm branches and windbreakers littered the streets. Shouts of, "Blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord," welled up from the people as a donkey clippity-clopped into view. Folks, it is the closest thing to a ticker tape parade that Jesus would ever get. What was buzzing in the air was hope. But then he rounded the bend in the road, looked down at the great city, and wept. Would that even today you knew the things that make for peace. But they are hidden from your eyes. The days are surely coming when your enemies will dash you to the ground because you did not know the time of your visitation. Can we hear those words and really believe that it was only to Jerusalem that he was speaking? Atlanta, Washington, Port-au-Prince, Baghdad, Beijing, Johannesburg. As Fred Buechner has said, looking down at those cities, you don't have to be Jesus to see what he saw. Wars and rumors of wars in Iran and Afghanistan and South America and the Far East. Folks, how in the world will we ever calculate whether the benefit has been worth the cost? A healthcare inferno that has so divided the House that the aisle between the Republicans and the Democrats has become a chasm. For the last 100 years, 3 suicides, count them, 3 suicides for every 2 homicides. An economic injustice so deep that the have-nots are choking on their poverty and the haves are choking on their privilege, and you begin to wonder when the whole thing's going to come crashing down like, as Jesus said, a house built on sand. 2,000 years later, and we still don't know the things that make for peace. Which is why he comes and comes and comes again. It's why he keeps showing up on the roads to Emmaus and East Point and Ellijay. It's what Palm Sunday is all about. The hope buzzing in the air that finally we will see, finally we will know. Do you remember the prophet? They shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not rise up against nation, neither shall they learn war or political partisanship or suicide or economic injustice anymore. And folks, if this day matters at all, it matters because of hope. Hope that God is God of the impossible. Hope that God's power to bring peace is stronger than our power to make war. Hope that by the grace of God, the leaders of the enemy nations will put down their rifles and the leaders of the political parties will reach across the aisle and those searching for suicide will reach for another option and the haves and the have-nots will reach out to one another as brothers and sisters before it's too late. Before we reach a point of no return and walk down the path too terrible to name. This piddly little poem, this puny little sanctuary, what difference does it make? Where's the hope? The hope is in you and me and every last one of us in this room. The hope, says Buechner, that each of us in our puny and piddly way will work and witness and pray for the things that make for peace, if only within the privacy of our own skins. Spending time with your family, critical time that's important to all of you. Talking to your spouse about things that really matter, not like what are we going for dinner, but how are we doing? And how can I become the spouse you more need me to be? Forgiving someone who's hurt you. Did you know that holding a grudge is one of the obstacles to peace? Consciously deepening your relationship with Jesus Christ. How in the world, folks, can you be a peacemaker if you're not connected with the Prince of Peace? Stop gossiping. Matthew 18 says, if somebody has hurt you, you go to them directly, not your next door neighbor, not your best friend, not Aunt Sadie, not 52 people. You go to the person directly. I wonder how many mini wars have been started because of gossip. I know. Doesn't seem like much. Compared to Afghanistan and health care and economic injustice, it seems piddly by comparison. But folks, I wonder, the next time Jesus rounds the bend in the road and looks down over Atlanta and sees us doing our piddly little things, I wonder if there will be a few less tears in his eyes.